Thanks for having us. I'm very excited to start the new year. We feel that we've really been able to build off of some momentum from last year and just really getting kind of that signature year under our belt and really be able to build with this young group. We have a lot of great pieces, and I think we've been really intentional in our recruiting process and with the returners to emphasize culture and not just what every coach talks about, but what we want our culture to be here, and kind of having an intolerance of things that aren't the expectation or where we're trying to go in the future. I'm very, very pleased with just the learning ability of our young group. I've seen improvement in all returners, and the freshman class has just been a joy to coach. So I think we have a lot of weapons. We've been kind of plagued by some injuries early on, limiting us a little bit in practice. But once we get a few more reps under our belt, I think this team is just going to incrementally keep improving.
Ladies, we'll ask you this in just a minute, but Coach, just for you, with there being no seniors on the roster, this for the first time seems like you really have the opportunity now to build with a group for more than just a season at a time and be
yes.
kind of a two-year thing.
Having retention for sure, and then identifying who's really on board, who needs to be groomed a little bit more in getting to the characteristics that we want out of all our players. And I think building up for the following year is the long-term goal. Obviously, we feel like we have a lot to accomplish this year, and I think we can surprise some people. But really, it's going to come down to getting some valuable experience for those that haven't yet seen those lights yet. I think we have 4 people that have actually returned playing with our jersey on. So I think it's going to be very important that we identify everybody's roles, so there's no gray area with that, and then challenge each person to incrementally keep improving. But I think we have a lot of foundation set right now where we can keep building for years to come.
What's that been like for the two of you? A couple years you've been here already. There's been so much turnover. The team's so different from one year to the next. Are you excited about the opportunity that now you have this group, and for your last 2 years you can see what you can accomplish?
Yeah, I think kind of like Coach said, we've done a lot of weeding out. We know that who's here is who wants to be here, and we have a lot of people, I think all 13, who are just really bought into our goals on the court and also our culture, because the coaches have done such a good job of emphasizing the importance of those off-court relationships, just because they translate so much to how we play together on the court. But yeah, so it's been super fun. We've got obviously a young group this year, but I think everyone's bought in. Everyone is so willing to learn, and I think it's been a good opportunity for us to grow prior to season starting and just come together and bond over teaching the new ones, and then obviously the returners improving as well.
Yeah, I would agree that we just have focus on, really coming together and bonding as a group so that we can have these 2 years and be successful as a whole group.
I think we all saw you throughout last year grow as the season got on, just becoming more, acclimated with the play and the style of play within the league and everything like that. What did you feel like you did as an individual, and where do you feel like you're at now as compared to going into last season? Even though you practiced with the girls, you weren't on the floor. How different was it now, knowing what to kind of expect, I guess?
Yeah, definitely a lot more confidence going into this season. Last year was my first year with this team and playing with them, and so kind of a little uncertainty with that. But this year we have a good group, and so there's more certainty, more leadership. So we're just able to kind of play and better.
Ellie, what have you kind of done to prepare for the increased role that you're going to be asking?
I think last year my role was primarily you're going to go in and shoot, and obviously be a solid defender, and because that's kind of what we base our team on is we like to pride ourselves in our defense. And I think just going into this year, it's going to be and has been a lot more of kind of like Court said, a leadership role, but also being able to bring more things such as rebounding, being a solid creating plays, more passing, and just leading vocally and by example. So.
What do you see the transition of the team being like as far as last year, a lot of your offense ran through your forwards, now maybe that switches a little bit? How different will this team be to watch than, say, in the past? I'm not even there before.
Well, I really think we have enhanced our guard play, and when you enhance your guard play through recruiting and also in experience, just having a more well-rounded group that can shoot, defend, handle the ball, make decisions. Hopefully that your style of play enhances as well as far as IQ, higher assists, lower turnovers, and be able to create a more fluid flow of ball movement. We relied so much on Michaela Shaw last year because she was somebody that could handle the ball, and we were limited there, and so she created shots for other people. Obviously, Jess Walter kind of has some of those characteristics and more of a in a guard-suited thing, but everybody has improved as far as their well-roundedness. I feel that we really have the capability to have different people step up each night and really distribute in different ways. I've been very pleased with these two up here. Claire Killian has been a great addition to our team and being able to be a threat from three-point line, attacking the basket, and a presence on the defensive end. So I think we can have a little bit more balanced flow, but obviously, like any team, you have to channel the ball through your creators, and then they set up your three-point shooters like Ellie and your people down low like Courtney that can really capitalize off of that movement and decision-making.
I was up to Sioux Falls a couple of years ago. The program seemed to take a big step, and then you kind of carried it a step from your last year, going down to the final possession. How big is that for the girls at our back to understand how close you guys really are at this point, and considering that, other than Miller being back at South Dakota State, a lot of the league is going to be very similar to what it was a year ago. I guess how much confidence does that instill to you, and to know that you guys are right there?
Well, I think when you get that close and you're in those semifinal games, and they're obviously really close games, kind of gives you a taste of what it's like. And when you taste that even just a little bit, like, you just want more of it. And I think for us, it gives us confidence. We've been there, we can do it. And I think once you've gotten to a point, like, you can just be more confident in the fact, like, we have the people, we have the culture, we have the program, the staff to get there. So we're fully confident that we can get there again and hopefully go further as well.
Coach.
No, it definitely lit a fire in us, for sure. At least it did for me. We definitely have the pieces to be able to get there again. So just the fact of us being confident, and as long as we play confident and together, we'll be fine.
Oh, my bad. I kind of just interrupted you. Coach, what are you looking to see from your team on this Saturday night?
On this Saturday, I think just consistency and effort, pride on the defensive end, and really staying organized offensively. We had a close scrimmage this last weekend, and I thought our kids really did a good job. I felt like we had multiple efforts from everybody on the floor. Obviously, you're not going to be perfect this early, but I felt that they really came out with a sense of aggression, a sense of pride, and really was the aggressor in that. And I think that's going to be so key for them. We are still trying to piece the team together. Like I said, we had a lot of people out the first couple of weeks of practice, and probably don't tell them enough, but this team has the most potential of any group I've had here. It's going to be key that they all embrace their roles. They all understand, where the ball needs to go at certain times, who needs to step up at certain times, and they all have to be committed on the defensive end. I think the more consistency we attain as a program will carry over, but that's what I'm looking for this next weekend.
Were you surprised by anything you saw in the scrimmages to see them against somebody else for the first time this group as a group?
I really felt, I was surprised in a good way. I think some things we did were almost kind of tough plays, and I think there is such a high ceiling for us that we can continue to grow in, and I thought that was a good basis. We got to the free throw line more than we've ever gotten there, and I think because we have guards that can attack and people be a little more aggressive. We had a higher amount of steals than usual, and I think we have a long team now. Last year, at times, we weren't starting anybody over or playing anybody over 6 feet, and now I think everyone's kind of averaging about that height, maybe except for Amber. So I really felt that we were a little more active in some areas, and I thought we had a solid base, but there's still so much more to grow in. So I'm very encouraged by the ceiling that we have.
You mentioned the time we talked to your Moss about Walter in terms of her ability to play different positions because she has some eye too. I guess ideally, how does she fit in, and where would you like her to do the most, knowing that necessity may take her to a different spot?
Yeah, I think what's really great about Jess is she can play the 1 through 4. she can spread the floor, and she can create for herself and for others. She's truly somebody that's just, as long as she stays confident in herself and her teammates stay confident in her, I think the sky is the limit. But she really enjoys creating for others, and I think we've challenged her to be more of a scorer. So right now she's trying to find that balance. But when she's surrounded by great pieces, I mean, basketball is not about just getting the best 5 people. It's about finding the right pieces. And I think we have creators, we have great shooters, we have great finishers. So that's what we talk about, all those pieces. And I think she can be a kind of connecting piece and move wherever we need to based on the matchup.
Do you foresee her being someone that want the ball in her hands a lot? Or
Yeah, I mean, she's 6 foot, 6'1", kind of point guard, and we kind of used Michaela in the same fashion, where she can be the 1, she can be the 2, the 3, the 4. She gets it in the post as well as many, and she obviously has to get used to playing with a lot of people, like everybody is getting used to playing with her. But yeah, I think she makes good decisions, and I think our kids would be silly not to love playing with somebody that can create like that, and I think she loves playing with them because they can really capitalize off of some of those decisions too.
Guys, we have time for about one more question, so anything else?
anything that you two want to see here in the early part of your schedule before you get to conference? What do you feel like are some keys that you want to establish here in the first month or so?
I think, kind of like Coach said, obviously our scrimmages and our practices have been really, really encouraging, just because we know that since it's so early and we're so young, we have so much growing to do. But it's exciting to see that early foundation. I think something that as a group that we really need to emphasize is just continually improving on our defense and just being able to mold together and just kind of play defense more as a unit. And I think we've seen glimpses of that a lot of times, and so that's also super encouraging. But yeah, just continuing to grow in that area.